I have a client who lost 40 pounds. He was already eating healthy, he was already exercising. All we did was tweak a couple of things that he was already eating. I have a client who hasn't slept in 6 months. Truthfully, it's been 5 years, but she has not slept in 6 months. Since I showed her one thing, she has slept every night for almost 2 months. She's shocked. She wakes up in the morning and she sees the sun and she's like, "What's this?" She usually wakes up at 3 a.m. Does that sound familiar? I have so many other stories of clients, remarkable stories of them changing their lives, not because I'm amazing. It's because I have found three things. They are the fountain of youth. They are they are resources that will never ever fail you. They will always help you. They will increase your energy. They will help you lose weight if that's what you want. They will help you sleep better. They will help you have mental clarity. They will help you find meaning in the job that you might dislike or hate. They could help you be patient with your children, with your family. They could help you have energy on the weekends. They could help you prevent burnout. They could help you connect to your purpose. That's how powerful these three things that I have found, because I've been looking for 30 years, and truthfully, 55 years I've been looking for these answers. That's how old I am. Focus, food, and fitness. If this sounds too simple, too good to be true, you're right. Maybe move on, scroll on, and I say that with love, no judgment. But if you want any of the things that I just talked about, here's how to do it. Number one, focus. I've said this before. I start every single seminar and every single coaching session with focus. If you and I don't know what we want, nothing is possible. It's like saying, let's go to the beach. Okay, let's go to the beach. How do you get there? I don't know. There's no directions. You can't get to somewhere where you don't know where you're going. Which beach are we going to? I don't know. And we don't know how to get there. That's how I was for years until I got laser focused on the purpose of my life. So focus. What do you want more than anything? What will you fight for? I know if you have children, if you have pets, if you have people you love, you'll fight. You'll give your life for them. That's what I'm talking about. Get focused on what your purpose is. If you believe in God or if there's a higher power or a higher purpose, whatever you need to get yourself laser focused. What is my purpose? What do I want more than anything? What will I will go out of my way. I will work harder than I ever have to. I will do whatever I'm told to get this. That's how compelling it should be. But the only way to get focused, the only way to get and stay laser focused, I have found, I have to control my anxiety. If I don't control my anxiety, my logical thinking part of the brain, my frontal lobe that makes the decisions, that says, be a good father, go to the gym, go to the supermarket and buy healthy food, make those healthy foods, pay attention to my relationships, work harder, connect to the people that I love, the purpose. I cannot do any of that if I'm in anxiety mode, fight or flight. When I'm triggered, when I'm in anxiety mode, the logical thinking part of my brain shuts down. Again, the part of my brain that says, eat this, it's healthier, it's better for you, you know better. Do this workout, you know you're going to feel amazing after the workout. At work, talk this way, communicate this way, connect to this purpose. I can't do any of that because I'm in survival mode. When I'm in anxiety, my brain literally thinks it's in danger, and then it starts creating physiological responses in my body that confirms the danger. I have short, shallow breaths, so I feel like I'm suffocating. That increases my anxiety. My heart rate increases. My pupils dilate. I could get sweaty. All of a sudden, I'm like on fire. These are all physiological responses based on the psychology that I'm experiencing or the physiological physiology in my brain, all from anxiety. It's so powerful. You cannot talk your way out of it. You know, if you have a child in anxiety and you know that you tell them, I'll give you an example. One of my children worried When they're triggered with an anxiety, they would worry that they were going to throw up. So whatever they ate, they felt like they were going to throw up. Anxiety is irrational. It latches onto something like that. No amount of support, coercion, convincing to tell him, "Hey, you're not going to throw up." I mean, that was so upsetting to me that I couldn't shake my son and say, "You're not going to throw up, buddy, if you eat this." But once I showed him how to control his anxiety, because my therapist showed me how to control my anxiety, guess what? His logical thinking part of the brain came back online. He realized if he ate, he's not going to throw up. This is something he's eaten before. It wouldn't be rational. And his appetite came back and he ate. That's how powerful anxiety is. Cannot talk yourself out of it. Don't beat yourself up. If you can't get motivated to do something, if you're not consistent, if you lose your focus, if you lose weight and then you gain it back, you start an exercise program and you stop it, at work, you're just so miserable and you can't find a way out, you can't find a solution, don't be hard on yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. You most likely, like everyone else, including me, are stuck in an anxiety loop. The number one best way, fastest way, 60 seconds literally, to break out of it is the vagus nerve exercise. I've talked about this and posted it countless times. Just send me a message, look at my social media, go to my website. It's all over. It's the vagus nerve exercise. It will get you out of anxiety in 60 seconds. I see it with my own eyes, with my children, myself, the people that I love. I told my clients to do it. That's how that client who hasn't slept in 5 years has slept almost every night for 2 months. She controlled her anxiety with the vagus nerve exercise, and then she also tweaked her diet. She modified her caffeine intake. She stopped eating processed food like gluten-free cookies, literally, and sleeping like a baby every night. But focus. What do I want and why? And control my anxiety. And I'll give you another tip real quick right here. Once you do the vagus nerve exercise, this will be even more effective. But the second best thing to do for anxiety, besides exercise and eat healthy, is this right here. If you're watching, put a little smirk on your face. If you want to smile, that's even better. But literally driving down the highway, angry, resentful, the world sucks, people are selfish, cutting me off, traffic, late for work. Put a smile on your face. Just do it. The most successful people do the things that unsuccessful people aren't willing to do. That is not a judgment. It's just an observation. Just smile the next time you're angry. The next time your phone rings and someone's calling you that stresses you out, or you get an email that's upsetting you, or you're thinking, you're ruminating, perseverating, negative, you're doomsdaying, right? The worst case scenario you're playing out. You can't get yourself out of that cycle. Besides doing the vagus nerve exercise, smile, grin. It creates a physiological response. It starts to release neurotransmitters, serotonin. 95% of serotonin is produced in the gut. A precursor of serotonin is tryptophan and other foods. If you're not eating healthy and you're not digesting because your anxiety is out of control and you haven't been eating healthy, how could your body possibly produce serotonin so that you could be happy? Again, it's not your fault. You might just be in a cycle like I was for years, like my clients are, like my friends I observe, and sometimes my children. There's ways to break out of it. Focus, food, fitness. They will never fail you. Okay, so focus. Food. Again, I told you about that client. He lost 40 pounds. He was already eating 95% healthy. I had him do a food journal, a food diary. If you're saying, Peter, I'll never do one, you're right. You'll never do one. But if you want something different, you have to do something different today. Einstein's definition of insanity. To do the same thing over and over and to expect a different result is the definition of anxiety, of insanity. Anxiety too, right? So we tweaked his food. We got rid of any of the processed foods, seed oils, canola, soy, sunflower, safflower, corn. All of those oils are toxic. They increase inflammation. They could trigger your anxiety. You lose your focus, and then you also lose your resolve to eat healthier and to exercise more because you know they're going to benefit you. It's all related. Focus, food, and fitness. We tweaked what he was going to eat. I have another amazing, amazing story. I love to highlight the seemingly simple moments when my clients have breakthroughs that I said, you just change your life. You don't realize it. You just change your life. I have another client, a wonderful woman who is trying so hard to take care of herself, to be fit, to exercise, to control her anxiety. She's been doing all that. We had a couple of coaching sessions. I showed her how to control anxiety. We tweaked her diet, and we also designed an exercise program because she has a hip replacement. She's got back pain. She has other physical issues. So we designed an exercise program. She was doing amazing. And then all of a sudden, I get a text. I'm bloated. All of a sudden, everything changed. I don't understand. I'm so frustrated. What happened? This is incredible. These are the changes that change people's lives right now. I'm going to share with you. So she did the vagus nerve exercise and watched what she ate the night before. So she slept great like that other client. She woke up early in the morning. She wanted to work out because she feels amazing when she works out in the morning. You don't have to work out in the morning, but if you can, it's a good way to start your day. She was able to motivate herself to exercise because she did the vagus nerve exercise and controlled her anxiety, was able to sleep. Do you see where I'm going? So she was able to exercise. So she kept that plan. She exercised, she had a healthy breakfast, and then she had a healthy lunch. And after lunch, she says, you know what? I want a little something. I'm going to have my favorite herbal tea. That's when all hell broke loose, she told me. Instantly bloated. By the way, you'll notice this if you work with me or if you're super clean with your eating, all of a sudden if you eat something an additive, ultra processed, one of these foods that I'm talking about, it's all over my social media, you're going to notice it immediately. One of the ways is you're going to be bloated because your body can't digest it. By the way, that's going to trigger your anxiety. You're going to go right back to that negative loop. The way to break that loop is to control your anxiety first, get focused on what you want, and then look at every single thing you're eating. Not to be obsessed, not to count calories, not to deprive or deny yourself food, but because you want better for yourself, for the people that you love, maybe the children in your life. So I said, what did you eat? She told me, oh, that sounds good. What did you do this morning? I exercised, I ate breakfast. Okay, that all sounds good. She had protein for breakfast. What did you have after? I had my herbal tea. I said, send me a screenshot of the herbal tea. I'm just curious. Excuse me. So she sent me the picture, and that's when I saw it. It was herbal tea, but it had natural flavors and like some peach flavor. It had the words natural and flavor. The kiss of death. I'm telling you right now, there's different research that shows that natural flavors could mean any of 100 to 200 different chemicals that are in small enough quantities that the company does not have to disclose on the label. I'm not judging companies. I'm not calling them villains. I'm telling you, there is right now additives in your food that are affecting you negatively, like this woman. By the way, so she drank her tea. She was triggered by the natural flavors because it's not natural. If it was natural, you don't put natural strawberry in a packet of strawberry. You put strawberries. You don't put natural beef on a steak. You put beef. The word natural and flavor should be a red flag. Again, I'm not judging. You don't have to believe any of this. You could do your own research, but pay attention. If you start to feel any of these symptoms, look at what you just drank or ate. So she drank this tea. It's supposed to be good for her. It's herbal tea. It's decaffeinated, like all the right things. It had some green tea in it, and I think it had some herbs, some natural, but it triggered her by bloating her. That triggered her anxiety. That sent her brain ruminating. She was off to the races. You know what I'm talking about? She couldn't bring herself back. So pay attention to what you're eating. So focus, food, as much as possible. I have an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, eat whole foods. Eat whole animal protein, grass fed, wild, organic, pastured. Eat whole plants, vegetables, definitely organic. If it's not organic, there's a 100% chance that there's pesticides. Pesticides, CIDE, side means to kill. Pesticides have ingredients in them designed to kill life. Sometimes we have to stop and scratch our heads and say, that doesn't make sense to me. And I don't care if it's in tiny quantities. I don't want poison in my food. I don't want poison in my children's food. Again, I'm not angry with the companies because that would create inflammation in me. That would trigger my anxiety and I would be unhealthy. So I just hold them accountable. I won't eat those foods 80% of the time. I'm not perfect. I eat wings and ribs and have beer, but 80% of the time I nail it, and that 20% indulgent won't harm me. I'm right back on track. I won't gain weight. I might be bloated for a little while, but I'm not going to lose focus because I have all these other strategies in place. It's not because I'm amazing. It's because I've been obsessed with how to look and feel better and how to give meaning to my life and how to be successful. I don't mean financially successful. I mean successful in my relationships, feeling that I'm contributing something, that I'm doing something worthwhile, that I'm making a difference, and not because of my ego, but because I believe that that's my path for me. That's my own path, okay? So whole vegetables. Limit grains. If you're eating bread, especially in the United States, that's going to trigger you. You look at your bread ingredient label, there's probably anywhere from 5 to 25 ingredients on the bread we're buying from the supermarket. Bread should have 3 ingredients: flour, water, salt. The leaven or the yeast comes naturally. If you're making sourdough bread, it's already on your hands, it's in the water, it's on the flour. You don't need yeast, it's already there. That's what sourdough bread is. You don't need any commercially manufactured. But you have to be buying healthier flour, and there are companies in the United States that will do that. You can also buy imported flour. But if you're not going to make your own sourdough bread or your own pasta, then I would encourage you, pay attention to how you feel when you have a grain product. And if you feel worse, it's that grain or it's the glyphosate, which is the pesticide that's in the grain. Glyphosate, there's, I could be wrong, but I think there's something like 100,000 lawsuits right now on glyphosate because it's related to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. That's enough information for me to say, you know what? I don't want to be eating bread. And if I eat bread, it's going to be once in a while, sporadically, and I'll try to buy the best quality bread that I could possibly buy. And again, sometimes I'm out at a restaurant with my son and I want a cheeseburger, and I know it's not going to be sourdough. I know it's not going to be organic, but I'm prepared for that because I've done all this other stuff that I'm talking about. Okay, so focus, food, nail your nutrition. If you do nothing else, control your anxiety, nail your nutrition. It is the fountain of youth. It's the only place we get energy from. Think about it. The only place energy comes from is food. It doesn't come in a bottle. Those are stimulants, all the caffeine and ephedrine and all that stuff. They're stimulants. It's not pure, it's not real energy. It only comes from food. So if you want more energy, eat food. And the last is fitness. 99% of my clients miss this. I don't judge them. I just observe it and I share it with you. When they're exercising, first of all, they're probably doing cardio to burn off the food that they ate. So that's guilt. That's deprival. That's negative. That's not sustainable. I've seen this for decades. People going to the gym or getting on the treadmill or doing cardio to burn off what they drank or what they ate. That is a lesson in futility. That is a definition of insanity, too. Again, no judgment. It is not sustainable. You're a rat chasing your tail, going back and forth over and over again. So if you want to break that cycle, build muscle, Do it in a circuit. Again, look at my social media. I literally show you my workout. It's a 20-minute circuit. I've been doing it for 25 years since I became a physical therapist and read research articles on the best way to train and build the human body. And ever since then, I've never turned back. I've been doing the same workout, slight variation, for 25 years. It helps me do Tough Mudders, Spartan races. I've run marathons. I used to do triathlons, all from this workout, including some sprints if I'm in training for a race, but that's a complicated conversation, or it's a conversation for another time, I should say. So, what I would recommend with fitness is build some muscle. If you do it in a circuit, you'll elevate your heart rate, you'll get cardiovascular benefit with the resistance training. So you'll build muscle, but you'll also build your cardiovascular. And your heart is a muscle, and it's also benefits from cardio, which is great. So it's a benefit, right? The thing that 99% of my clients are missing, besides building muscle in a circuit, is what they're focusing on during exercise. Most of the people that I talk to, I observe in the gym, are on their phones, or they're checking social media, or they're checking emails, or they're on a conversation that's like stressful. I could see people say, "Do you believe what she said to me?" while they're walking on the treadmill, while their body. So the reason that is concerning is when you and I are exercising, our brain is releasing incredible, powerful, feel good chemicals, human growth hormone, testosterone, cancer killing T cells. Literally, cancer killing T cells are released when you and I exercise, but only if we direct our minds positively. Can't be on that negative scrolling, politics, feeling like you're missing out, FUBU, fear of missing out, whatever it's called. Answering emails, figuring out, when you're going to pick the kids up, or what you're going to make them for lunch, or what you're going to buy from the supermarket on the way home, or when you're going to do your laundry. That's all motivational sap. You have to do that stuff, but not while you're exercising. You don't have to think about while you're exercising. So again, human growth hormone, testosterone, cancer killing T cells, neurotransmitters, that serotonin that I talked about, the happy hormone. You and I can't be happy unless our body is producing and releasing serotonin. If you and I exercise and direct our thoughts to something we love, positive, your body will release more serotonin. If you ate healthy, your body will have more tryptophan and other drugs or other components to make more serotonin and dopamine and norepinephrine. Dopamine is what you get if you post something and people like it, you get a dopamine hit. You can get that hit every single time you exercise if you direct your mind. Endorphins, painkillers. If you and I are in pain, you cannot possibly focus. You cannot control your anxiety. You cannot get yourself to eat healthy because you're distracted by the pain. The one way to get out of pain is to exercise more, ironically, and then work with a professional if you're in pain, a chiropractor, a physical therapist, an acupuncturist, a holistic doctor, a naturopath, someone that's going to get to the root of the cause, not treat the symptoms. You want to get to the root of the knee pain, the root of the shoulder pain, the root of the back pain. It's not drugs to mask the symptoms. It's curing what is causing it. A lot of times, believe it or not, the food that we're eating creates inflammation, it creates pain in the body. So again, it all goes back. It's all related. So focus, food, fitness. I think I covered everything about neurotransmitters, endorphins, painkillers. If I missed anything, look at my social media. I make reels on exercise, on motivation, on cooking. I post something every day. I send a newsletter out once a week with all of this information. The reason I get so passionate about it, and sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I don't want to say negative, but I could sound desperate. I could sound like frustrated, is because there's so many messages out there that are misguided and are misguiding us. I was misguided. Even as a physical therapist and a nutritionist, I was misguided into the fat-free movement, the sugar-free movement, the gluten-free movement, all that. It's good, powerful marketing. I don't mean it's good marketing, but the marketing is so good that it convinces us to do things that aren't better for us. And we have to go back to the basics. Okay, that I think that's enough to start with. Focus, food, fitness. If you do nothing else, get laser focused on your purpose. Control your anxiety so you can stay laser focused. Look at the food you're eating. Clean up the food you're eating if this makes sense to you. And when you're training, even if you're going for a walk, direct your mind. It's so powerful. It's such a gift. Don't give that up. Don't give up your power during exercise. Reach out to me. Let me know what you think of this. Ask me questions, message me, connect with me, sign up for my newsletter, ask me to speak to your company, your school district, your group, your organization. Let's connect in some way. Let's stay in touch with each other because there is power in connection and there's accountability. Okay, I think that's enough. Until next time, I'm Peter.